Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, my boys. Hello, hello, hello. Woo! Disney Channel movies, right? You know those Disney Channel movies? You know, like those original movies that Disney Channel makes exclusively for Disney Channel? Yeah, those ones. They have been a staple in many of our lives. At least I think so. When there was a new one releasing, it was like a Marvel movie or like a new Harry Potter movie. You just grabbed your popcorn, you grabbed your friends, and then you just watched it when it was scheduled. I'm not really too sure if it's the same thing for kids now, in terms of popularity, and especially because Disney Plus and all these new streaming services are out now. But I do know that Disney was still making Disney Channel original movies from the time I entered high school till now. I think they still make movies for Disney Channel now. So I figured I'd watch some of them and give you guys my thoughts on them. Now I only chose a very select few of Disney Channel movies that I haven't watched but have heard of. So the movies that I will be talking about today is Descendants 1, 2, and 3, Zombies 1 and 2, and Teen Beach 1 and 2. Alright, let's get started, shall we? First movie, baby! Now, this movie is a silly little goofy movie, you know what I'm saying? Let's summarize this roller coaster for you guys, huh? Disney villains have been vanished to another island and they have children. And so do the Disney heroes. They weren't vanished, they have children as well. That's what I meant to say. Ben, son of Belle and Beast, decide, you know what? Those children on the island, they deserve a second chance, huh? And they, the villains' children or descendants, are brought on over to the mainland, or I forgot what the name of the thing. The mainland. We're gonna call it the mainland for now. They're brought on over to the mainland with a plan to take over said mainland. The land doesn't go as planned because the descendants ain't down with it, and they actually end up falling in love with the mainland. They betray the parents. Maleficent gets Ant-Man, and bippity boppity shut the hell up. The movie's over. That's it. Now this movie is a fun ride. I won't lie to you guys. Alright, I'll never lie to you guys. This movie is pretty fun, but it does have a lot of moments that make you go, wow, Beast is a horrible father. Because he truly is. Like, for example, there was this part in the movie, right, where the townspeople of the mainland, they start a situation with the descendants. And then Beast is like, wow, I knew this would happen. And Ben is like, what are you talking about, bro? It was the townspeople that instigated the whole thing. They were completely innocent in this situation. And Beast looks at his son in the eyes and says, know what? It's actually your fault. It is your fault.
I feared something like this would happen.
This isn't their fault.
No, son. It's yours.
Like, who is this guy? You know what? Like, who is he? Like, you know what? At this point, I think he deserves to stay a beast. All right, I think he deserves to stay cursed forever, just for the rest of his life. Wow, that was ridiculous. Also, the more you watch the movie, the more you sort of realize that the descendants aren't as bad as the townspeople. In fact, I think I was more comfortable with the supposed villains than I was with the townspeople. That's all I'm saying. Got it. I felt like I was watching Get Out, except Chris was the descendants and Rose and her family were the townspeople. That's exactly how that's the best way to describe it. And yes, we're going to talk about this one fact because I feel like it's important, but who in their right minds would have children with these villains? Like, it's gross. And they're all single parents from what it seems like. So, you know, there's a possibility that they Scarlet Witched it and just had children by themselves. It's never really explained. The only one that is explained is Maleficent. But that's explained 2 movies later, so we'll get to that when we get to that. Whatever the case though, they are not fit to have children, nor is the Beast. The music is also not the movie's strongest point, which is odd because usually in Disney Channel movies it is the strongest part of the movie, but it just wasn't in this one. But all in all, really fun movie with really funny parts. Because they're cringe and a few cringy lines. I think it's worth a watch. Honestly, I do think it is. Now, part 2, baby. Not gonna lie to you guys, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. I was expecting and excuse my French here, okay? But I was expecting a baguette of a show in this one, okay? But this movie was actually better than the first one, which is surprising to me because it's never that way. It's always the first part is the best one, and then it gets worse from there on out. And the first song is so much better than the first song of the first movie. It made me pumped up to watch this movie, unlike the last movie. But let me fill you in and what this movie is all about. All right, let me fill you a little brains. So Mal, the main descendant, starts to feel out of place in this little town. She isn't down with the whole royal thing that's going on, and her boyfriend King Ben, yes, Ben is king now, is like, sorry about it, chief. And then they get into this huge fight. This fight causes Mal to go back to the villain place town that she came from, and the rest of the descendants, accompanied by jerk Ben over here, alright, they go to get her back. And surprise, she ain't want to go back. Well, outside, the daughter of Ursula captures Ben. I'm gonna call her Fish Legs though, because I can't remember her name. So right now her name is Fish Legs for the time being. The descendants go to save Ben, and Fish Legs like grrr, and they go back home. And then the descendants tell Mal, hey, you don't have to be somebody else for Ben to like you. If he don't like you while you're yourself, then he's probably not worth the time. Okay? They go to a boat party thing where they're introducing Mal as a queen or whatever, and then surprise, Fish Legs has been under a spell in which he loves her instead of Mal. But in reality, Ben still loves Mal, and they kiss, and then the spell is broken, and then there's a huge CGI fight. Whoa! And Fish Legs runs away. They celebrate. That's the end pretty much. The music is somewhat better than the first one. I'm just gonna put that out there. It really is, especially the one on the boat. Not let me specify because there's like two boats in this movie. The boat where they're having like a rap battle kind of. Just look it up. You'll see it. All right. Yeah, I would show you guys the songs, but I can't because copyright. So you're just gonna have to search up these songs. And the story is pretty decent too, or at least like the premise of the movie. Let me tell you, that beginning, man, when they were showing you Mal and her anxieties of being a queen and stuff. Oh man, for a second I thought I was the queen. I really, in my head, I was like, what am I gonna do with these townspeople, man? Oh god, this is horrible. Oh, what am I gonna tell Ben, bro? Oh god. Oh, dude. Oh god, it's so hard being a fabulous queen sometimes. And there were a couple of emotional moments that made me feel sympathy for the characters. I know, right? Who would have thought? Not this guy. I definitely didn't think that would ever happen. Oh, and there's also a talking dog in this movie.
Man, that thing was nasty. And you just gotta man up.
Like, none of his dialogue is important at all. In fact, most of them are just one-liners and jokes, or him talking about how he is a bad dog that doesn't obey anybody. Why do these executives think that talking dogs are funny? I don't understand. Like, why? Final note, I really love the design of Cruella de Vil's son, especially since it gives off Kingdom Hearts vibes. Also, yes, I forgot the character's name, alright? Just give me a break. Don't give me a break. It's actually really sad because I wrote the script as I was watching the movies, like right after this part right here, this whole segment was written 20 minutes after I watched Descendants 2. So, just to give you an idea of how I was writing the script. Okay, moving on. Let's go. Okay, this one is easily the best one out of the three, but let me do a quick summary before I continue with my thoughts. Audrey, the ex of Ben, or the girl that Ben left to be with Mal because Mal is better in every single way, there's no competition there, becomes jealous at the sight of Ben proposing to Mal. I know, ooh, drama. She becomes so upset that she becomes a villain. And she decides she's gonna mess up all of the mainland, the hold on, Oridon. That's what the name is, Oridon. I'm not good with names. I'm sorry. So she decides she's gonna mess all of Oridon up, and she does. She definitely does. She turns half of the people into stone, and the other half are in a sleeping spell. Mal and her crew are like, you know what, we gotta save the town. So they go back to the villains island to get the help of Hades. One thing after another, they do manage to help Audrey and get her to be good again, with the help of Hades, of course. And Mal and Ben decide to open the barriers between the island of villains and Oridon. You have a big party. That's pretty much how it ends. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the songs first, because they're easily the best songs out of all three of the movies. Each one had me, as the cool kids say, pumped and twerking. No, I'm joking. I wasn't pumped, just twerking. The songs that come to mind are the ones where Hades and Mal have a duet, and the ones where they're fighting armored knights. And the armored knights especially, because in the middle of the song they decide to have just a dope dance battle, and that's how they win. It was wild. I mean, look at this.
Suit of armor, strong and true. Make this metal bust the move.
Going back to the Hades thing though, because when I tell you that the plot twist that Hades is Mal's dad made my jaw drop, it didn't make my jaw drop, but it was enough for me to go, whoa, what? And it wasn't because it was this like the Sixth Sense plot twist. It was because it answered my question from the first movie. Who would have children with these villains? Hades. Makes so much sense. He's desperate. Also, there is this scene in the movie that made me laugh for 5 minutes straight, and when I thought about it again later in the day when I was working, it made me laugh even more, because it was really, really cringy, and it felt weird that it was in there. So towards the end, Hades is brought to Oridon to help wake up Audrey from her sleeping spell, because it backfired on her. When they release Hades from his handcuffs, because he's getting not arrested, they're making sure that he's not gonna take over Oridon. He goes up to Beast's face and they have a growl off. Just straight up. They just start growling at each other, face to face. Two grown men growling at each other. Okay, look, okay. It's easy to show you guys, alright? Just watch the clip.
Dad.
And again, Carlos, that's right, I remember the name. I didn't remember the name, I just looked it up when I was writing this part. But his design is still pretty reminiscent of Kingdom Hearts, so just because that alone, my favorite character, 100%. 100%. And I believe this was Cameron Boyce's last performance before he passed away in 2019, so I think it was more bittersweet of a movie because of that. All in all, it was a pretty enjoyable movie, and it was fun. And that's all I can say about that. Alright, let's continue with the next movie, shall we? So, as a minority. Okay, sorry. Okay. I thought this movie was a little bit too on the nose. You'll see what I mean in a second with this summary, okay? So, 50 years prior to the movie, there was an outbreak in this town causing zombies. The town built a wall and they continue their sweet and fabulous life. The government makes these bans for zombies so that it controls their tendencies to eat brains. This allows zombies to go to school with humans for the first time. Sound familiar? Just think about it for a second. I'll let you just scroll through your U.S. history, just memory banks. All right, just think about it. You know, maybe a screenshot from the movie will help you out a little bit. Ringing any bells? Ringing any segregation bells? And I wish that were the end of specific tones, but it's not. It's not. There is so much more in this movie. But I'm pretty sure that was the point. Like, it'd be weird if it wasn't the point. Anyway, Zed, a zombie, and Addison, a human, meet each other accidentally after a few people think that Zed is a rogue zombie. And this is because Zed was in the hallways after escaping his class in a basement. Because zombies aren't allowed to be in the same classroom with humans. Wait. Zed and Addison fall in love and they both have a dream that zombies and humans can live in harmony. And they manage to do just that. I don't even think it's even on the nose at this point. I think it's just in the nose. Now, this movie is easily the best one on the list, alright? And I hadn't even seen Teen Beach by this point. And people love this movie so much to a point where there's a third one releasing. But I think I love it for the wrong reasons. It's just anytime that something came up that was purely supposed to represent the segregation and racism, I just kind of looked at it and just thought to myself, wow, they had the balls. And I give nothing but props and respect for that because holy moly, dude, it made me laugh in a very uncomfortable kind of way. Like, it was funny in an uncomfortable kind of way. And props to Addison for being as woke as she is, because she was standing up for us minorities. Sorry, my bad. Zombies, that's what I meant. Also, for some reason, cheerleading is the main sport in this school and the most popular one. And because of that, the leader of the cheerleading group, Bucky, is also very popular. Is pretty much like a star in that school. I think even amongst the town. But boy, is he a racist son of a gun, bro. Oh, so racist towards zombies. I was rooting against him the whole time, straight up. Even when he learned the lesson that racism is no bueno, I was just hoping he broke his leg or something and just ended his whole cheerleading career, because I don't care. Screw that guy. All in all, I actually loved this movie, and that's not even a meme. Just straight up enjoyed it. It entertained me and made me laugh for many different reasons. And I think it's worth a watch if you just are curious or just want to know what the hell I'm talking about. And if I were to be asked to be in Zombies 4, yeah, I'd be done. Put me in there, boys. Put me in there. Throw me in there. Oh, put me in the ring. Put me in the ring, Chief. Also, this is some information I learned while writing this movie, but just gonna put that out there. This movie released the same day that Black Panther released in theaters. Do with that information as you will. Just saying. Here we are again with another yeah. So when the first settlers arrived to make this town that these movies take place in, they had to fight and scare off the werewolves who were originally living here. And then they took what was something that was theirs and then made it their own. Sound familiar? Does it sound it sounds a little bit familiar, right? I'll give you a hint, all right? It was the way a certain country was found. You know what? I'll give you even a bigger hint. Okay, it rhymes with the United Plates of America. Fast forward towards the events of Zombies 2. Prom or prawn, because that's what they call prawn, because I guess shrimps or whatever. Regardless, it's coming up, all right? It's coming up. And Zed and Addison want to go together to prawn. But guess what? Because werewolves were spotted, monster laws are back in effect, so zombies cannot attend prawn. Zed decides he's going to run for president so he can change that. While doing this, Addison is actually mingling and getting close with the werewolves because she is convinced that she is a werewolf herself. Zed loses the presidency thing, whatever, and Addison isn't a werewolf. The werewolves get back what's theirs, and then they all live happily ever after at prawn. Okay? It's not happily ever after, more like the movie ended. So although more subtle, it's clear what the werewolves were supposed to represent. So from what I understand, it seems like they're taking major racial issues and putting them into these movies. I'm calling it right now, all right? Calling it right now. Zombies 3, all right? It's gonna the racial thing that's gonna be in there is immigration. I say this because the last scene of the movie shows a comet coming down into the town. Alien music is playing, and Addison's like, "Well, that's weird," and then her hair glows. So obviously it's gonna have aliens, and then they're gonna be in a place where the townspeople don't want them to be at, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, go back to space." Watch, just watch. I already know. I can foresee it already. All right. If I am right about this, all right. If I am right about that, I will have bragging rights for the rest of my life. All right. And you guys will address me as King Alien. And no, wait, don't do that. That's weird. I'm getting off track here. All right. Look. The music is pretty good, all right. And Someday, the song that was in the last movie with the racial tones, yeah, it appears in this movie too, actually. So if part 3 doesn't have this song, automatically horrible movie. That just putting that out there. Zed is also kind of a jerk in this movie. To be more specific, the zombies are jerks towards the werewolves. So is everybody else, because they're all like, yo, werewolves, I hate them. If you get what I'm saying. Racist. Who said that? What? But it's all good because our girl Addison is over here being woke as hell, baby. Let's go. She's out here throwing them warrior hands at anybody who even looks at the werewolves wrong, including her boyfriend Zed. Oh, I gotta, okay, hold on. I don't know if it's gonna be in Zombies 3, but Zombies 4, alright? If they make a Zombies 4, I got a great character idea. There's a character that's in a coma during this whole time, right? And he wakes up in Zombies 4, and this is like, he got to the coma before, you know, the zombies had equal rights, and then now he's up and he's seeing all this unity between the zombies and human, and he's like, whoa. He's sometimes racist by accident towards zombies, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like I'd be a great character. Call me up, boys. All right, enough with this nonsense. All right, let's go to the beach and surf, my boys. All right, we're going there. So remember when I said Zombies would be the best movie on the list no matter what I said? I'm a man of my word, so it is still number 1 right now, but if I hadn't said that stupid comment, this movie would be number 1 on the list. Mackenzie and Brady are teleported into a musical movie after getting caught in a huge wave during a storm. Luckily for them, this movie just so happens to be Brady's favorite movie. And he tells Mackenzie that at the end of the movie there is a storm, so they decide to play along with the movie and just let it play out until the storm happens so they can go back home. That is until they accidentally prevent the main characters from meeting each other, therefore making the movie go in a whole other direction. So now they attempt to make them meet each other so the movie will get back on track. They do, they go back home, and then Mackenzie realizes that she has to be her own person, that she has to do what she wants to be happy. Now, I'm not even joking, okay? Jokes out the window. If this movie had better actors, slight writing fixes, okay, and slightly better dialogue, this movie could have been more than a Disney Channel movie. And I'm talking like the Greatest Showman level. The cinematography is beautiful. The editing is so good, okay? The music is up there. Like, this movie had so much potential to be more, and it makes you wonder if Disney had put more of a budget towards it, could it have reached that potential? Okay, I'm gonna get off topic here real quick. Why do people like beaches? Sand is horrible. I don't like sand, dude. I hate when it gets between your fingies and your toesies and your... Doesn't matter where else, okay? Look, it's just, sand is horrible. Alright, I hate sand. Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this movie, or at least nothing funny to say. I mean, Jordan Fisher is in this movie, but that's not really funny. It's more like, oh, it's Jordan Fisher. So, and finally, here we are, the last movie. Wow, was this movie depressing? Mackenzie, or Mac for short, and Brady start to reminisce about how they met. Apparently, Brady was watching his favorite movie, West Side Story, and Mac was coming along, and Brady was like, hey, you want to come and watch this movie with me? And then they watched the movie together. The next few days, they start to go back to school and they start to have relationship troubles. So they both decide to take a break until school is over, at least until summer. Meanwhile, back in West Side Story, you know, the movie that they were trapped in the last movie, Layla, the main character, starts to have an existential crisis and is like, let me leave. And then manages to get to the real world along with Tanner, her boyfriend. They find Mac and Brady and they start to explore the wonders of the real world, and they decide they want to stay. That is until they find out that their family and friends back inside the movie are disappearing and pretty much getting murked one by one. So they attempt to get back to the movie in time before every one of them gets murked. And before Mac and Brady forget about each other. Because you see, if West Side Story never existed, that means Mac and Brady could have never met. Right before Layla and Tanner are about to get out of there and go back into the movie, Mac tells Layla, hey, you know, you don't have to play by the script, you can make the movie your own movie, you know, do what you want. Brady gets Layla and Tanner on a surfboard and they get back home and they live happily ever. Yo, what the heck? Yeah, Brady and Mac are complete strangers now. They just completely forgot about each other. They don't know who they are. When I tell you this part screwed with me, it screwed with me, alright? I'm not gonna even lie to you. I was eating Chick-fil-A and I didn't even want to eat anymore. That's how like cheated it felt. But we'll get to that later. So West Side Story is no longer West Side Story. It's actually a new movie that's focused on Layla. They meet each other again, and it's clear that they're going to be a couple again, but without any memories that they made with each other. And the end. Okay, that was a really long summary. Not gonna lie to you, that's on my bad, but I felt the exposition was really important. Anyway, this movie brought everything that was great about part 1 and brought it over to part 2 and tried to improve upon it, and I think they did a pretty decent job up until that ending choice. I felt really cheated as a viewer. Brady learned some really important stuff throughout this whole movie, and so does Mac, and then that's just wiped away. Ending aside, it was a great movie, okay? But not as great as Zombies, my boys. Let's go! And that is all the movies I will be talking about today. Zombies 3 is releasing this year, and I'm filming this video in May 26th. But if I'm correct, today, when you guys are watching this video, it should be out the 11th of July, which means Zombies 3 will be out this week when you're watching this video. So I will definitely be making a video on that movie. Please do subscribe to my channel because it helps me out a lot, and please leave a like because it lets me know that you guys enjoy this kind of content. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.